Welcome everybody. Today you're in for a treat because today we're talking about procrastination. Now we all suffer procrastination, and if you want some tips you can take today to beat that procrastination, this is the video for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about three things that have helped me personally to beat procrastination, because procrastination is a very big topic and there's numerous reasons different people procrastinate for different reasons. So in this one I'm going to talk about what has helped me and what has helped a good majority of the people with their procrastination. First thing we all need is goals, because without goals, you're pretty much a ship without a captain. See, you need to give your brain specific command on what it needs to do, because if you don't give it specific commands, it's going to be all over the place. Just like a ship. Like a ship's going to go, but if it doesn't have a captain, where is it going to go? Nowhere. That's exactly the way the brain works, because if you don't give it a direction, it doesn't know where to go and leads to uncertainty, and uncertainty leads to procrastination. The more certainty you can have, the better you will be at beating procrastination. I didn't believe this for the longest time, that we are goal-oriented beings. We are meant to chase something. That's just the way it is. Life is all about chasing something, because if you're not chasing something, you're going to perish. See, in the old days, I'm talking about really old days, we chased animals, we chased a lot of different things that kept us motivated, right? That's why we love games, because we're chasing the next checkpoint, we're chasing the next achievement. Same goes with our lives. We want the next achievement, we want the next thing we can achieve. Now it doesn't mean that you live for the next thing, but that's what's going to help you keep on going. So goals are very important in order for us to beat procrastination. I highly recommend reading the book called Flow by Mihai. I think I got that right. Maybe not, probably not. But it's a great book because it kind of tells you the research behind happiness and us being humans. So we humans, we kind of love and hate work that stretches us beyond our boundaries, because we love our comfort zones. Don't I love my comfort zone, but a lot of times you have to kind of go beyond those comfort zones, and the only way to go beyond those comfort zones is kind of have goals, because once you have goals that stretch you beyond your comfort zone a little bit, it's going to help you a lot to beat procrastination. Actually, you'd be a lot happier. That's what he talks about in that book, because flow is all about being happy, moving forward, being happy, seeing progress. That's what flow's about. So I highly recommend you guys checking that book out, because it's going to help you tremendously being happier in life and just being more focused in life, because that book helped me a lot. Now, another book that helped me a lot with procrastination was Switch by Chip Heath. And what that book explained me is, we have an elephant, which is majority of our brain. Then we have the rider that tells the elephant where to go. See, the rider is pretty small and the elephant's pretty big. That is why we keep giving in to procrastination, because the rider is not strong enough. And an elephant, our emotional brain, is very strong. But if we can kind of turn it around, if we can give that rider direction, if we can give that elephant a path to go on, you will be a lot more inclined to follow on your goals. And that's what goals and beating procrastination is all about, is giving you a definite path so your rider doesn't have to work that hard. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you about is buffer. And this buffer is very important, because what's going to happen, you're going to go to the first step and you're like, all right, I'm going to achieve A, B, and C, and it's going to give you a burst of motivation. But what's going to happen in the first few days is you're going to have 10 goals, and just like everybody else, you're going to mess up on how soon you can get those goals done. The anxiety is going to build on, and then you're going to give up, because in order to relieve anxiety, what do? We go to the nearest pleasure, which is what? Usually it's distraction. It's something, could be movies, games, whatever that is, right? So you need to have a buffer, and you need to understand that you're always going to overestimate on what you can do in a certain amount of time. Now, you don't want to underestimate either, but over time, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, at estimating how much you can do in a limited amount of time. So buffer is pretty much, you're giving yourself a little bit of buffer to complete your task, because if you don't have buffer, you are going to have anxiety and you are going to procrastinate. So as I talked about, we overestimate what we can do in a time frame. So buffer leads to procrastination and anxiety. But what I usually do is I have a 20% rule in a lot of things. So I give myself a 20% buffer. What that is, for example, if my first reaction to a task is I'm going to get this done in 30 minutes, I add 20% to it. So it's going to be 36 minutes. Certain tasks is more, certain tasks is a lot less, but 20% is my rule. So whatever comes to my mind the first time, I add 30 minutes. So what that does is it helps me to kind of catch up and not have that anxiety. So I procrastinate and just give up. Because a lot of times when tasks build up, you just want to be like, you know what, F it, I don't want to deal with any of it. And the buffer system helps you kind of defeat that. Now the third thing I want to talk to you about is planning your life. And this one thing, if I could tell this to everybody, I would. But this one thing has changed my life. Planning your night before you go to sleep. Because when you plan before you go to sleep, you're going to wake up with a purpose. And waking up with a purpose is going to decrease your procrastination. Because the moment you wake up, you know exactly the things you want to do and you have to do that day. Because if you wake up without a purpose, you don't know what to do, you are just going to procrastinate. Just go to mindless activities such as TV, games. I've done it. But since I started planning my night before, like I plan my year before it starts, my week before it starts, and my day before it starts. It only takes maybe 10 minutes a night at most, but it's going to change the way you look at life. Because when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what you need to accomplish. And when you sit down at night and you look at those tasks, you're like, holy crap, I got almost all the tasks complete. It gives you a motivation. Because motivation is something you got to do every day. Because there's a lot of things that are going to excite you, but majority of the things that you have to do are not going to excite you. But those checklists, the task list that you're going to have, it's going to help you keep on going. So plan your night before, just 15 to 20 minutes before you go to bed. Go ahead and get a pen and paper and just go ahead and write down exactly what you need to do when you wake up with the time frames you need to wake up. And I don't like put everything I have to do, just meaningful tasks that are oriented towards my goals. For example, one of my tasks right now is to be able to run 3 miles in around 32 minutes, right? In order to do that, I have to get up early. I have to go for a run, and it's going to be, so I write down at 5:30, I'm going to go for a 33-minute run, and I'm going to try to cover 3 miles. And what that does is I know exactly what I need to do, and I have my clothes and everything out. So the moment I wake up, there is no uncertainty on where my day is going to go. I know exactly where my day is going to go, and it beats procrastination every time. And the days I don't do it, and that's the fun part, the days I don't do it, I falter, and I hate it. But sometimes, you are not perfect, so there's a lot of times you're just going to come home and you'll be tired and you just go to bed. And the next day I know I'm going to have a bad day, but stuff happens. So try to take 5 to 10 minutes out of the day. Go ahead and put it on your calendar, because that's going to help you. Put it on your calendar, nightly task time, and try it for 7 days. Leave in the comments below, how was your 7-day trial on planning your next day? So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some action steps you can take right now. First, get a composition book, right? At Walmart, it's like maybe 50 cents. Get it and write down goals that are meaningful to you. It could be about your weight. It could be about a business. It could be about a job. It could be something you want to learn. It could be anything. Just write down the broad goals. Just write 3 broad goals, right? The second thing is go ahead and break those broad goals. So for example, you want to learn a new language. You want to learn a new language in 6 months. Okay, so you can break that down. All right, learn a language, 6 months. Now you know exactly what you need to do every day. So maybe in 6 months, there's 20 modules of that language. You can break that down to 20 weeks, and all you do is 1 module a week. And if you know you got to do 1 module a week, you look at the modules, there's 7 videos. I'm going to do 1 video a day, and that's all I'm doing. Think about it. In 6 months, you'll learn a new language if you look at it that way. So go ahead and get your goals, your composition book out, write down your goals, and schedule that nightly session. Because what happens is, it's nice and great. You're going to watch this video. You're going to be like, oh yeah, those are great tips. I'll give it a try one day. And the moment you turn this video off, life's going to take you on a roller coaster and you forget about it. But if you have your phone right now, minimize this video, go ahead and put it on your calendar. Nightly task list or nightly journal time, whatever you want to name it. And put it for 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. And go ahead and put the comments below. Let me know how these tips work out for you. And I'm going to leave the mind map that's on the screen right now in the description. Check it out. I'll have my blog post under there as well. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.